Today we're going to do a video that I promised all of you about running a business on the road, so stay tuned. Tell you a little bit about me so that you understand where I'm coming from as far as the business aspect of working on the road. I have a business and I've had business for a long time. I had my business since 2001 is when I incorporated. So I had my business for years before that, but I did incorporate in 2001. This video is not necessarily for people who are incorporated. If you're not incorporated, it doesn't just apply to corporations, is what I want to say. So basically, if you just have any type of a business and you're running as a business, doing business as a DBA, or even a small corporation or an LLC, a lot of the tips that I'm giving you today are things that I learned on the road, and I want to share them with you today because I live a lifestyle that is very mobile. So half the time I'm at home and half the time I'm on the road. So for me, I've had to work my business into something like that, and I've had a lot of changes because my business has changed over the years. So let me explain a little bit about where I started. My first experience with RVing was in a Class C. It was a 28-foot Class C that I purchased. It was a Winnebago, and I was running a corporation out of my RV when I hit the road, and I had been running this business for over 20 years. I had inventory and I had to ship inventory. My inventory wasn't the kind of inventories that you get an order and you can wait 2 days to ship it. I had product where I had to ship out weekly. Every week I had to ship product out every single week. So I had to be in a place where I can receive my product and ship it out. That meant that I had to have boxes with me. I had to be able to get boxes on the road for shipping, and I had to have multiple size boxes. It wasn't just one size box. There was different size boxes. I had to have packing tape, I had to have shipping label, and I had to be in a place where I could receive product by the day that I had to receive it. And I also had to be in a place where I can access a UPS store. And that was the main thing that I used, was UPS. I didn't hardly use the Postal Service. I had to have a 100-pound scale. It's a small portable, it looked like a little briefcase. I still have it here. And I used that so that I can weigh my boxes when I ship my product out. So where I used to store all of this stuff was back compartment on the outside of my Class C. And that was one of the reasons I turned to the Class C at that time, because there was so much storage on the outside that I knew that I could store a lot of my business stuff in that compartment. I had inventory in there, not a lot because I had small product. I had boxes in there, but all my boxes were flattened. That's one of the key to being mobile, is you have to make sure your boxes are flattened. So if you are reusing boxes as you receive merchandise from your vendors and you plan on reusing those boxes to ship your customers, you will want to have a blade so that you can flatten out your boxes and store them in your storage, whatever RV that you're going to have. So for me, the RV park was what worked for me, where especially during the summertime, because everybody's gone in the summertime, and you can get some really awesome prices here in Florida if you stay for a while in an RV park. Some RVs give you like the best rates, and you know, you have the swimming pool to yourself a lot of the times. You're going to be indoors most of the time under AC because it gets really hot in Florida, but if you insulate a lot of your compartments and stuff like that, you can probably weather it pretty well. But anyway, let's not get off track, but just I want to give you an idea. That's what I did. So I wasn't really boondocking. Now in retrospect, if I was boondocking and I wanted to be somewhere that was for 14 days, it would be difficult for me if I was receiving product. So there would be a lot more management and a lot more planning in the time frames of when you're in tracking of the packages. So you would need to have good Wi-Fi so you can track your packages and make sure that you have cell phone coverages so you can track your packages when they come in. You need to know where you're going to be going or staying, or if there's a UPS store where you can have your product delivered there, or if you're going to be going to an RV park a certain time of the week so that you can have your packages shipped there, and then maybe you only pay for those 2 days. You can consider those kind of like office expenses, like rental office expenses because you had to be there during that time to pay for a spot. A lot of things as an RVer you can deduct if it's for your business because you needed to be there to receive your product. So let's say you're out, you're going boondocking and you need to receive product every week. What you're going to want to do is go to an RV park, make sure that they allow you to receive product there. You're going to give a reservation to make sure you're going to have a reservation for the day you're going to be there. And then of course you're going to order your packages to go there. So that's one of the easiest ways to do it if you really want to save money. Other than that, you might be able to get a good price and just stay for, long term in a certain area and then move on to another area. And what I want to talk today is how to organize our receipts and our paperwork. So this is going to be a series that I'm going to be doing. Not sure how many I'm going to post of these, but I just want to give you basically a rundown of what I do. So the first thing for a business is when you have a business on the road, you are going to be receiving a lot of mail. Based on what you need, you are going to be getting your mail maybe once a month or every 2 weeks. And when your mail comes in, you have to sort all your mail. So here in my office, I had an inbox, and most people understand the concept of the inbox in an office because things come in, you put it there, and then you process it, RV is different because you don't really have a stationary inbox where you put all your stuff, so you figure, what am I going to do with it? A lot of us just hoard it somewhere in an RV, and then we forget about it, and we can get into lots of trouble where you might get penalty fees because you didn't find it, or it could be, other kind of penalties that could come out of something like that, or things that you really are important that you need to get to and you didn't find the paper because you stuffed it somewhere. So I'm going to show you what I have developed over the years to help me on the road, because when I'm home, I still have things here that I have to process. And I can't put my stuff in that inbox that's there. I don't use my inbox anymore. I use a different setup because if I'm planning to travel, this binder goes with me wherever I go. Because if I have work to do, always in my binder. So I don't have the inbox. My binder is my inbox, and I use that on the road all the time when I travel. So when I travel, I have a list of things that I need to bring with me on my phone. And then what I do is, that is one of them is my inbox. And I'll show you what I have. It's pretty and it's pink, but for guys, you can do the same thing with a different type of notebook. You can use a binder notebook, or you can use the Arc Planner. And they're not as pretty as mine, but this is what I use. I used to use the Happy Planner, and I used the cover for my Happy Planner to be my inbox for business. So this is where I store my stuff that comes in my mail. This card's over here, and then some important stuff here in this little section, which is nice. But the main focal point is here. I made this cover because I didn't use my Happy Planner in here, but the two things that are the most important is the mail that comes in that has to be processed. So by having these folders here, these are available from Happy Planner, but a lot of office stores, if you're guys, you're not going to want anything so pretty, you can have some folders, and when my mail comes in, I have to process it. I put the stuff in here that I have to process. So I have different folders for that, for different needs. Then I have another section here of folders for receipts. And let me skip that for a second, and I'll go back to it later. I also have that I made a lot of this stuff myself, and this is just based on my needs over the years. I also have a clear, this is just a school envelope, and what I keep in here is my checkbooks. And I have in here my checkbook, my business checkbook, and I also have Armando's checkbook, because when I'm on the road, I cannot forget to pay his medical stuff, because I'm his POA, so I have to pay from his checking account. I have to pay his rental at the home that he's staying at, and I also have to pay medicines for stuff. So and if I travel and and it's the 1st of the month or the 4th, and I won't be back till the 10th, I may have to make sure those things are paid. So they're always in here, and they're on my desk, and this is basically where everything that I have to do goes. I also have always envelopes, so if I have to mail a letter or a check to somebody, I have that. And I also have a black pen. On most paperwork that you have to file usually requires black pens, especially for business, so I always make sure I have a black pen as well. And these things sit in here, and this is why I love the binding system with the Happy Planner or the Arc system, because they just pop in. So this is what I use on the road. Okay, so the other thing I want to show you is, this is a little bit weird. So I made these folders that are very similar to the Happy Planner folders, are a little bit smaller because these are used, I used 12 by 12 paper to make these, and these are very simple to make. And what I use these for is for my receipts, because my receipts are really take a lot of my time. Admin stuff takes a lot of time for business, where you have to sort your receipts and know about it and scan them in. I don't keep receipts anymore. I only keep receipts that I know maybe return something or I'm not sure about a product. Gas receipts, I scan them in right away, and we'll talk about that further because there's another system that I use. But when I'm home, I'm on top of these things. When I'm on the road, if I'm traveling, if I'm trying to find places, a lot of the stuff that I could do at home starts to build up, and then where do I put this stuff? So this is why I developed these. Let me pull out one of these folders so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so this is basically, I'm gonna open it up. This is basically a 12 by 12 sheet of paper that you can buy at Michael's. And I did is I folded it this way, and then I folded it in half, and then I have the Arc Planner Punch, the Happy Planner Punch, and I'm able to put it inside of this binder. And what this does is this keeps my receipts in here. So in this one, I would keep my personal checking account receipts in here. Any receipts that I bought that was from my checking account, my debit card, would go in here. And anything with my business account would go in here. And the only time that I use this is when I'm so busy that I can't scan it within the first 2 days, and I have to store them someplace on the road, so they go in here. And even in my office, if I'm way busy and I can't get to it because I'm planning on trip and I'm packing, I'm doing this, I still put them in here because I know when I grab this binder on the road, this is stuff that I can scan. So the stuff that I put in here, I scan the copies of. I don't keep the original copies. So I have for multiple things. I have business checking, I have personal checking. The personal checking I keep because at the end of the month, I reconcile my personal checking. I also have a folder for personal cash. I have one for business cash. I have one for my credit cards as well. So if I use, let's say, a Chase credit card, it would go under the folder for Chase credit card. If I used a Citibank credit card, it would go under that. So I don't have a lot of credit cards I don't use because I really believe in being debt free. I only use one credit card for my internet stuff. When I'm traveling for a long period of time, like 4 months, I only carry one card with me because the rewards there are amazing. I don't use it during the year, but for that, I do use it. Try to narrow down your credit card so you know exactly what you have, and it's a lot less stressful on the road when you have to be remembering how many, you have so many credit cards. It's good to have at least 2 credit cards. One for all your expenses and you pay it off every month, and the other one is one card where you just use that online. In case anything happens online, you don't have the credit card that you're using for daily, for stuff, for business or whatever. So that's basically what I have. I have another one for my PayPal because I have a PayPal card. And then I also have one here for Armando, and then one, of course, for Christian's checking account because Christian also has a checking account now. So I put the receipts in there, and then we scan them in. So this is something very simple that you can do on the road. Is you can buy binders and put folders and start doing that and labeling them so you can put your receipts in there. At the end of the month, if you don't have as many receipts as other people do at the end of the month, you go in and you scan them. Okay, so this has been a lifesaver for me, and I use this at home and on the road. I use here on my iPad, and I also have it on my phone. So I'll just show you my iPad because my iPad is way bigger. All right, so let me log in here. All right, I have right here, if you can see this right here, this is Good Notes. So let me tap on it and show you why I like about this. In Good Notes, I am able to have notebooks of all the various things that I need, and you'll see that I have a lot of notebooks. I have a notebook for things that have to do with Christian. I have a notebook for household things. I have remedies that I find on the internet that I keep, recipes here that I may want to keep or try. I keep them there. I have some gardening stuff that I've gotten off the internet. So I have a lot of different notebooks in here. I have categories. So this is my notes section where I just have notebooks on general things. And then if you look here, where I click there, I have options for different things. Like I have travel, so I have travel notebooks, and these are just related to travel. And what I have here are notebooks for every state that I want to visit, and whatever I find on the internet or clippings that I find and that I cut out of magazines, I scan them and I'll put them in here. So like for instance, here's one of Arkansas. And when I go and I say, well, I'm going to go to the state, I already have the information here, so I don't lose it. I don't use Evernote anymore. I used to use Evernote, but it just didn't work for me. So I do love the concept of the notebooks. It's just, I'm a visual person, and I do love notebooks and planners and all that stuff. GoodNotes comes with standard notebooks, but if you want this system that I'm using, you have to go to Etsy and purchase a digital planner. These are called digital planners, and there's a lot of multiple digital planners online that a lot of people are making. What you saw in this binder is my receipts and mail that comes in that I have to get to in some of these folders. Now, the only time that I put stuff here in this binder, in this pink binder, is when I can't scan it. So like right now, let's say I have one receipt. I just came home and I have one receipt. Well, I'll just enter it here. Storage for your receipts, and it's an easy way to find it. I prefer this much better than doing file folders in my computer. And this way, it's just so easy to find your stuff. You just keep going like this. Like it's a regular notebook. You can see it's a notebook. Hey guys, this video got a little bit too long, so I want to cut it off here. Next time that I do my next business administration RVing video, I'll show you how I use GoodNotes to organize my entire business. If you're interested to know what kind of digital planner that I use, you may want to wait till that next week when I show you more in depth of how I use it. It might not be something that you're going to be using or that you want to use, so you don't need it in order to run GoodNotes, because GoodNotes comes with a lot of its own notebooks, so you might want to wait for that video. But in case you do want to do a little bit of researching before then, I'll go ahead and give you a link below to the one that I'm using right now. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Thank you very much, and have a great day. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, and please subscribe.